just a sight to behold. Some of the flick shots he hits is just incredible with that. And on the defense, they've also got the flexibility that a lot of teams don't have. A lot of teams have got supports that can't necessarily switch it up. But RQT, he plays a fantastic Mei.
Well, we had Hanamura earlier on in the series last weekend. In fact, it was Fusion Girls versus Tempo Storm, and Tempo Storm couldn't even get the first point. So this is going to be very difficult for LoveShack, but at the same time, Genome, it is Hanamura in that if they get a little bit lucky, if things go their way, possibly they could be able to surprise and get a bit of an upset.
Yep, they definitely could. That said, Fusion Girls have looked really strong on this before. Both defense and offense, they have strategies that are just perfectly tailored to this map. And as we look at their composition sort of coming out of the gate here, they do have I Eat You Up on the Widow, and when you've got Huss and Trill on
very
two
aggressive
flankers, it's so hard to even think about dealing with I Eat You Up. Though we got a nice fire strike from their PB&Jam, picking up 25% ult charge to start off with.
Yeah, it's a good start for PB&Jam, 25% from that fire strike, as you mentioned. And look at I Eat You Up, we're already scouting things out. But LoveShack are going to be ready for this. They'd have to understand the situation here on Hanamura, that if that pick were to happen for Fusion Girls, it's going to make things a whole lot easier. Huss now trying to make his way in. But look at the way that LoveShack have allowed Fusion Girls to come in here, Gino. It's wide open. They're just defending the point.
Tails and Smash Brothers sticking together there. Huss was trying to get a pick onto one of them, but they're just sticking together way too tightly, and now they've made some space in the back here and got straight on top of KKD. He's caught out completely.
Yep, and it's a beautiful start here for Fusion Girls, straight on to the point. Although we are going to see a little bit of remonstration from LoveShack. It's going to be very futile. Really, Fusion Girls, one push, and they're straight onto the point, and they're going to get it already, Gina. This is where they're at.
And that is just their trademark patience. They can't defend against that when Fusion Girls are just they're willing to wait, right? Huss pokes in. He doesn't find the opening, so they just they stay, safe. They don't go too deep until all of a sudden they find HeyKD out on his own, and then bam, they make the call. 4 of them get in on him, and it's all over from there.
Yeah, 6 minutes and 40 seconds for Fusion Girls, already going into the second point, the start that they'd like to see. They'd want to get off to a good start. They didn't quite get off to a good start yesterday, Gina, dropping that first map against MA Lakers. They are vulnerable, and there is a way to beat them, but right now LoveShack are struggling to find that here on Hanamura. 6 minutes is a very long time to defend this second point.
Yeah, they're taking their sweet time to get in here to the second point. It looks like they're trying to find a way to dislodge LoveShack from this top left position, and now they've pushed them onto the point by going in, and they've made space for I Eat You Up.
Yeah, I Eat You Up sticking with that. Widowmaker is going to get that first pick, which is going to allow Fusion Girls to come on in. The Dragon Blade, Trill, slicing, dicing, picks up 3 kills, and that could just about be the point already, Genome. 6 minutes on the clock, they're contesting it, but with 4 members dead of LoveShack, it's going to be so hard to contest this. The Tracer Pulse Bomb from Huss as well takes down Tails. I Eat You Up again picking off. The Widowmaker's worked out, and Fusion Girls, 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
I could be wrong here, Xenox, but was that literally a flawless game? Like, did a Fusion Girls member die?
I don't think they lost the fight. I don't think they lost the fight. I think
they definitely didn't lose a fight, but did anyone die?
I think that's what replays are for. But perfect from Fusion Girls one way or the other. I do believe there was probably one death here or there, but overall a great performance from them. And for LoveShack, it's not quite good enough, really. They needed to do a lot better than that, especially on Hanamura.
No, they really weren't able to stick together. We just saw HeyKD. He's good at playing that flanker role with the Hog, right? So he likes to try and be by himself in a sneaky position somehow, and that's how you can pull apart a dive comp. But if all of them dive onto you and you've got none of your team backing you up, that's not a way to play it. So HeyKD getting caught outside in the map there was really the start of all that, because Hanamura, we know if you win that first fight decisively, can be quite snowball. We saw Trill come in there with the Dragon Blade, and none of LoveShack had their ultimates up by then. They just hadn't done enough damage. As we said, barely, if anyone, died on Fusion Girls, and that's not going to give you a lot of ultimate charge, is it?
Well, I don't think many expected too much today for competing against Fusion Girls, but in a way, this is a chance for LoveShack to prove that they can get the first point here. This is something that Tempo Storm couldn't do. A lot of teams struggle even just taking the first point against Fusion Girls. So this is the chance for them with 4 minutes to get a bit of confidence. If they can get that first point, anything can sort of happen. They only need a pick from PB&Jam, and that makes things a lot easier.
And if they've studied the VODs, they should know how to break this. They are running the kind of lineup they did last time, RQT on the Mei. They should know where the weak points are here for the Fusion Girls. They've got to try and bait out those walls. They've got lots of movement. Everybody here has a way to get over that Mei wall, so they shouldn't fall prey to it. That said, RQT, we even saw him on Nambani yesterday, finding some very inventive ways to use May's Ice Wall, and even if it's not just stopping them at the choke, you know, cutting them off in other places.
Yeah, but they've got to be very careful though here, Love Shack, because really that May can block off a lot of their dive composition, a lot of what they want to try to do. That is an early May wall though, Gene. I mean, it's not quite effective enough. They didn't actually get anything. So this could be a chance for Love Shack to push on through, and they're going to take that chance straight away, jumping up, looking for a very early kill onto RQT. He's going to be able to survive for now. He's going to actually keep himself alive by ice blocking, but it is IH2 up taking out Smash Brother, and that's going to give Fusion Girls a massive advantage. Hey, Katie's still flying up in the air, trying to get something, but he gets picked off by Gumber of all people.
Well, Smash Brother had gone down already, and that makes it very hard for the Farah to stay alive after that. They almost tried to do the same thing, Fusion Girls in there. They found Huss alone on the Roadhog and went for him. Unfortunately, their execution wasn't quite as precise, and Huss had time to pull back inside and get that large health pack, the Mega inside the house there, and you know, they just couldn't capitalize on him quick enough. With Smash Brother going down early, that really neuters that pharmacy combo.
Yeah, 3 minutes for Love Shack here. They've lost a minute already. RQT waiting for the right side of the door. He's going to get that wall up, and beautiful wall, but it's actually not going to get anybody, and it's going to allow Igo to jump on through. He's going to be able to put that pressure onto the back line of Fusion Girls, but what pressure when all of Love Shack are dying in return. Igo, the last one alive on the Winston. He's not going to get too far. A little bit of a stagger, but in the end goes down.
That was a good effort still. They got in there. They got the first kill. Unfortunately, they just weren't playing around Huss enough. He's hitting the hooks, right? You cannot count on this guy missing them because he very rarely does. RQT now just using that May wall to stall out. They're just buying time with that. They know this is a very mobile comp and they can't do that. A good Earth Shatter there.
Yeah, that's going to be putting the pressure on the Love Shack now. Fusion Girls bringing the pain onto them and not mucking around. They're not waiting this time for Love Shack to push on through. They will quickly take them out. Only really using that Earth Shatter as well means they've still got a lot of ult economy for Fusion Girls.
Right, it's only one ultimate and they won the fight with it. They're pushing them back. And the fight before, we just saw that Fusion Girls are good at every point in the fight. Even if they do lose that first pick or two, we talked about this before, still they find the way to make it happen. They protect us. They use that hook to trade favorably and get back into it.
Bit of a switch here. I go onto the Zarya now, PB and Gem over to the Winston. So changing things up a little bit here. Love Shack to try and push through, to try and give themselves a bit of a chance of taking this first point. I go with the particle parry, tries to keep himself alive, but he's got so much pressure on him, coming extremely low, gets taken down. Fusion Girls, too much pressure in the end. They did use the Blizzard though from RQT, but other than that, beautiful.
Unless the whole team's going through the window, it is very hard to get around a Blizzard attacking on Hanamura. You saw both of the supports. They didn't want to get caught in it, so they retreated back behind the door. Neither of them able to heal any of their teammates, and from that point on, obviously, you know, Love Shack were kind of doomed. They've got a minute left to take this. Tails doesn't have a nano boost for this Dragon Blade he's got up, so he's going to have to be very effective with it.
Yeah, and Hey Katie and Smash Brother both changing up their heroes a little bit, so no real ultimates for Love Shack other than that Dragon Blade on Tails. As you mentioned, they've lost PB and Gem already through to Kiki, who has the self-destruct available, as it's again, Fusion Girls really using their ultimates there, the Nano Visor combination, meaning that they could clean up Love Shack, but the way they control their ultimates perfect. They can keep using them, but then they've always got some left in the bank.
Fusion Girls, they're just so, what's the word, frugal. They're so frugal with their ultimates. One comes out at the start of the fight. They use that to get an advantage, and only if things are going badly do they commit more. That means they've always got 2 or 3. They've got choices. Every time they come into a fight, they've got different ways depending on how the opponents attack them. They've gone for a more tanky composition now, as you said, with Igo on Zarya, and they're ready for it, anything they've got.
Well, Tails still has that Dragon Blade. He's still holding onto it. Kiki at the self-destruct, and Huss has got his whole hog available. The May wall comes down, and that means that Love Shack are going to push on through. Tails with a swift strike as well, followed up by that Dragon Blade going for IH2 up, but he's so close, he can't actually reach him, and Tails has just given up all of a sudden. Overtime comes onto the point now. It's RQT staying alive with the ice block, thrusting in now is Kiki to come and bring some backup for Fusion Girls. Igo trying to do as much as well, but a pulse bomb from Hey Katie takes down Trill. This is the closest that Love Shack have gotten, and even then, Genome, it still doesn't even look like it's going in their favor.
Well, it all started off the back of a fantastic sleep dart by Smash Brother. He managed to put Trill down with that, but crucially, all 4 of them went for the point and tried to take a fight instead of just taking that free kill against Trill. And now they've gone down. They aren't able to capture the first point. There was, you know, there was glimpses of what they could do on the attack there. They managed to get in there a couple of times. The defense, unfortunately, was not looking great for Love Shack. Fusion Girls